Wandering Adri here, and for today's story we travelled a bit further than usual, out of Bristol, past fields of sheep, cows and a few pheasants, through the beautiful city of Wells until we reached the magical town of Glastonbury for the annual medieval fair at Glastonbury Abbey. It's relatively easy to travel there from Bristol by bus on the 376 and quite affordable at £7 for a West of England adult day ticket or £10 for up to 5 people with the day group West of England ticket. Do have a note that the bus runs about every half hour on Saturdays from 7:30am and about every hour from 9am on Sundays, and takes about 19 minutes to reach Glastonbury. The medieval fair takes place on Saturday and Sunday from 10am to 6pm, and tickets sell out quite quickly, especially for Saturday, so it's best to book at least a few weeks in advance. On this occasion, I was only able to secure tickets for Sunday, and since the first bus was at 9am, it was quite packed, and we also missed about the first hour of the event. If you're able to, I recommend booking a weekend ticket for a more relaxed experience, which is what I did last year. This year, the difference in the price of a day ticket and a weekend ticket was £10. The main scheduled events are usually the same, except for the music performances, which means the weekend ticket lets you spread the events out and explore the sites over the 2 days without pressure. The ticket also includes entry to the Abbey and its museum. Guests can also bring their own food, which can save you some money and time. But there are also food and drink stalls and pop-ups at the site, including a bar in a large tent. Whilst it's not compulsory, guests can dress up for the medieval fair. And whilst the event itself is themed as the historical medieval period, this is not a strict dressing code for guests, and you can often find some fantasy-themed outfits among the sea of people. My friend Susie joined me in this occasion, and we embraced a more fantasy-themed look with a mushroom-themed outfit. As for the layout of the medieval fair, Glastonbury Abbey is transformed for the event, with multiple encampments and stalls spread throughout the whole site. Hundreds of reenactors populate the period-accurate encampments where they go through the day-to-day, sharing homemade meals made at the fire pits in the camps, and where visitors can talk to them and take part in workshops to learn more about the medieval lifestyle, including the food that would be accessible at the time and how it was preserved, spices used, crafts, religion and combat. There are also 3 main stages with scheduled events: the Abbot's Kitchen, the small arena and the main arena. At the Abbot's Kitchen, guests can enjoy a delightful live music performance. The schedule is different on each day. At the small arena, you'll be able to catch a few shows, including Water Palaver, which is a fire-breathing jester show. At the main arena, you'll be able to find the best dress contest, which usually has an under 15s and an over 15s category. In the 3 years of gone, there has also been an unofficial but very adorable animal category, where any animal with a costume can take part. At this stage, you will also be able to find 2 grand medieval jousts throughout the day, which are quite popular, so it's definitely worth going there early to secure a good spot to watch. Here's a fragment of what you can expect.
They turn now for the third pass. Good luck, gentlemen.
The final show at the main arena is the Castle Siege, which features over 100 reenactors and showcases a brutal assault on Lord Somerset's castle, involving battering rams, arrow fire and burning shields, culminating in a fierce, chaotic battle to breach the doors. Throughout the whole day, there are also interactive setups you will not want to miss out on, including Albert the Alchemist, who will teach you all about transmutations and transformations of metals, with live demonstrations. Another interactive setup I definitely recommend checking out is The Storyteller, who will tell you about fantastical tales from medieval times. I especially recommend it if you need a more relaxing activity to ground yourself in the busy environment of the fair. This year there were actually 2 storytellers. Overall, it is a very fun event to attend, whether as a group or solo, since there's a very welcoming community. There's a lively ambience throughout the site, which looks absolutely stunning with all the settlements, reenactors and dressed up guests. There is also a great variety of stalls ranging from fabrics, swords, medieval or Viking clothing, to sweets, vintage items, crafts, dice and bath bombs to name a few. The event is predominantly outdoors, so it's definitely worth checking the weather ahead of time and taking it into account if you decide to dress up. The bus to and from Bristol is run by First Class, and unfortunately it's not always the most reliable and normally will be very packed when the event ends. In this occasion, my friend and I decided to try to catch a bus early to avoid the crowds, but unfortunately it never showed up and we had to wait for at least an hour for the next bus. This is something to take into account, especially if you have any plans in the evenings, and to avoid getting stranded in Glastonbury, particularly on the Sunday. The Glastonbury Medieval Fayre usually takes place on a weekend in April, and it's growing in popularity as the years go on, so it's definitely worth checking for tickets early. You can find more information and the special events at glastonburyabbey.com or glastonburyabbey.medievalfayre.co.uk and their respective Facebook pages.
And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to hear more about lifestyle news about Bristol and the nearby areas.